Ladies and gentlemen, Manchester United are all smiles after today's performance. After what was a devastating loss to Tottenham, we finally did what we were supposed to do this entire season starting from now. We were supposed to fight and step up to the occasion, and Manchester United did that tonight. What's up, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show, and welcome back to another video. Today is going to be a Manchester United versus Newcastle 4-1 match reaction, and Manchester United's victory was sealed in the last 10 minutes of the game, and it was a very important game to win. I think a lot of people came into this game saying that we just needed to win it and we'll forget about the performance down the line. We just need to win because so many teams have given up points over the course of today's round as well as the few other rounds as well, and this one was a necessity to keep us in the race, in the challenge for what we want to accomplish this season. And it's going to be a good confidence booster, I believe, especially with the way that we won it going into the next few games. We have PSG, we have Chelsea, we have Arsenal, we have Everton, we have Leipzig. We have a bunch of games that are absolutely essential to win, and a lot of them are very difficult as well. So this game, the way that we fought and bounced back, despite not having the best team out there, despite conceding a goal very, very early, we decided to step up, we decided to fight, and Manchester United got the victory away at St. James's Park. Now, you might see the scoreline and thought United dominated this game. That was not the case. Newcastle, I'm going to give them all the credit in the world. If anybody thinks that this scoreline is justice for Newcastle, they're wrong. Newcastle performed extremely well. This is the Premier League, for crying out loud. They took us for around 70 to 80 minutes of a very, very even matchup. And United just showed their class at the very end, and Newcastle had to go for it. Plus, their goalkeeper got injured pretty late on, and it was very tough for him to continue the game, and I don't think he has any justice as well because he had a fantastic game. Newcastle deserve some credit for their performance tonight, but of course this is not a Newcastle fan channel. I wish them the best of luck going into their future games because I do think that they've earned a lot of people's respect today. But in saying that, we have to talk about Manchester United, and this was the perfect game to perform in when we were in so down in the dumps, so poor, so upset. We were wondering if we were going to even win this game. And for the longest time, we were still wondering. But the fact is the 3 points are in our bag, and we continue to push forward into the next Premier League game and also into the Champions League. Now, there are a few things I do want to talk about. Obviously, when you looked at that starting 11 tonight, tonight, I think everybody was very confused and upset, and I really thought that a lot of people were saying that Ollie was going to throw this game under just to show how his frustrations with the board. And I think he said it in a quote. He was going to bring a team that wanted to fight for the shirt, and that's why he picked those teams, because it's very energetic, it's very hardworking, and we did see the benefits of that throughout the entire game. Because if you did see Pogba play, and maybe if you did see the likes of well, basically, it's really only Pogba. Maybe if you saw Matic play, maybe if you saw Mason Greenwood play, they definitely fight for the shirt, but maybe that they're not really the types of players that you'd want in a game like this. I don't know. I don't know why Ollie picked that team. Even now, I don't know why Ollie picked that team. But all I could say is that it worked out, and that's when, if it didn't work out, you criticize the manager. But when it does work out, you have nothing to say. You won the game. We won the game. We saw some fantastic goals tonight. I can't sit here and complain and be angry about that. I'm very, very happy after today's game because I missed my team. Even after that demolition against Tottenham, I missed my team and I wanted to see them play. And I'm happy that they're here and I'm happy that they're playing. And I'm happy that they got the win. And even though for a long time that win wasn't guaranteed, in the last 10 minutes of the game, we secured the win and we did what we were supposed to do out there, because this was not an easy game. I didn't expect 4 goals against Newcastle, but that's what we got, and that's truly what we deserved, especially towards the end. So we'll go into who scored the goals and what the goals were. The first goal was from our captain, Harry Maguire, after a beautiful cross from Mata, I believe. Harry Maguire headed it to the bottom corner. Unsavable shot. Harry Maguire, the captain, scores a goal for Manchester United. And I'm going to get to Harry Maguire later because I think he really stepped up tonight. But anyway, moving on from that. The second goal came from some beautiful football from Manchester United. Counter-attacking, Donnie Van Der Beek played it to Mata. Mata threw a ball all the way to the wings to Rashford. Rashford waited for Bruno Fernandez to come along. Beautiful back flick to Bruno, and Bruno with a spectacular finish. Bruno Fernandez scores the second goal. Absolutely sensational. The third goal for Manchester United was, I believe, Rashford playing it to Wan Bissaka, who was making a run in, and Wan Bissaka just absolutely fired it into the near post, unsavable shot, and Wan Bissaka in his 50th appearance has scored a goal for Manchester United and his first senior goal as a player, so congratulations to him. And the fourth goal was Marcus Rashford, absolutely sensational finish, tucked it in the corner. We all questioned Marcus Rashford's performance prior to the assists and the goals, of course, but I think he shut a lot of people up in the last 10 minutes, and he got a beautiful goal for that. So in the end, 4-1. The goal that Newcastle scored was basically St. Maximin spinning Victor Lindelof like a fiddle, chucked it all the way to Shelby. I'm sorry if I said his name wrong. I'm sorry. I look like a noob right now. Shelby. And basically, it was a cross deflection from Luke Shaw in the goal's own goal, and yeah, and a lot of people are giving stick for David De Gea with that one, and I'm going to tell you why that's not David De Gea's fault. But overall, this was a good game, and two very, very big positives came out of this game. One, Harry Maguire, in my opinion, was absolutely superb, absolutely sensational, and was far and away, in my opinion, one of the candidates for man of the match. He did absolutely tremendous today, and where all the controversies lied on Harry Maguire, when everybody was asking for him to be dropped, including myself, when everybody said that this guy is mentally not there, I think he shut a lot of people up with this performance. But it's only one game. We can't ignore everything else that's happened. It is one game, and Harry Maguire shined, and hopefully this can lead to a very good, consistent run of games where Harry Maguire is one of our better players on the pitch, because that's what we need him to be. So Harry Maguire, if you are watching this, fair play for stepping up in a very, very, very tight affair, scoring the goal to equalise it. Very good defensive displays, very good passing displays, nearly got a second goal as well. You can't ask for more for Harry Maguire, in my opinion, than what you saw today, especially when people were asking for him to be dropped. So, in saying that, we move on, and the second positive I want to talk about is Wan Bissaka, because despite scoring a goal, and it's not really the goal that I'm going to be talking about, he shut down St. Maximin today. And that's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. Now, Wan Bissaka has had a very, very poor few months. And we didn't know what to expect. We didn't know if he was going to get skinned, or we didn't know if he was going to win the battle and just keep him quiet. And Maximin was not quiet, but I think Wan Bissaka clearly won that battle. And that's a very good thing. And the goal is just the icing on the cake. And hopefully he can run on from here, and he can push on and forget about those terrible months and start again and have a good few months as well. And you love to see these types of performances. Anyway, we're going to move on to the player ratings for Manchester United. David De Gea, in my opinion, gets I'm going to give him a 7. Look, he scored. The own goal is not David De Gea's fault. At the end of the day, if you think that goal from David De Gea, well, from Luke Shaw's own goal, is David De Gea's fault, you've never played in goal before. He was preparing for a cross. He was ready for the cross, and unfortunately, it tipped into the near post. No goalkeeper in the Premier League, unless you're in the very wrong area in the first place, would save that goal. No one. It looks bad. I'm not going to lie. It does look bad on David De Gea because he doesn't save that. But at the end of the day, no goalkeeper would save that shot with that deflection. He was preparing for the cross. He was ready for the cross. When something unexpected like that happens and you're wrong-footed, you're not saving that shot. So I'm going to give him a 7 because he kept us in the game with that Wilson save. Sensational save. You have to tip your caps to that type of save, because that type of save won us the game ultimately. Because if Newcastle did get the second before we got our second, Newcastle probably would have won that game. So it's a big, big, big save, and big players make big saves. And David De Gea saved Manchester United today, a 7 out of 10. Wan Bissaka also gets a 7 out of 10. Shut down St. Maximin for the most part today. and he scored a goal, and it's a good goal as well. And that goal really brought a smile to my face, because that is the last thing I expected from Wan Bissaka, and he just absolutely belted that shot, and it was a good goal. But defensively is where I see he had a fantastic game. He also got up and got forward. Look, his forward play is not spectacular. I know he scored a goal, but his crosses weren't great, and one of the crosses nearly went in for a goal. But overall, I can't ask for more for Wan Bissaka. Just because you're not good offensively doesn't mean you can't try. And he tried very hard today. He got balls into the box. The reality is, I don't care how bad of a player you are. If you keep putting balls into the box, one of them will connect. And even though it didn't happen for Wan Bissaka today, he did end up getting the goal. He was in the box for the goal. And it's a fantastic goal with a very good defensive display. And Wan Bissaka, in my opinion, gets a 7 out of 10. Victor Lindelof. Look, overall, Victor Lindelof looked, especially in the first half, very shaky. He was part of the fault for the goal. Well, most of the team was, to be fair. And I guess the second half, I didn't really notice him that much. I will give Victor Lindelof a 5, because I think that first half performance is enough to say that he was underperforming, and the second half performance was unnoticeable. So he was basically average, in my opinion. And I think, I don't know what to say about Victor Lindelof. I don't think this performance means they should never play again at Manchester United or even play in the next game. I just think that he was a little bit of an underperforming centre-back today, and he was definitely at fault for one of the goals. I think you have to foul in that situation where you're going to get spun. You need to foul, because that goal was easily preventable from a lot of our players, and Victor Lindelof was definitely one of them that could have prevented it. But nevertheless, I'm not a footballer. I'm not going to come out here and say that he should have done something and he should have done this. At the end of the day, I see it through a TV screen. I'm not seeing it through his eyes. So the reality is, I think he underperformed, so that's what I'm going to give him. I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. Harry Maguire. I'm giving Harry Maguire an 8 out of 10. Yeah, I said it. Look, this guy stepped up dramatically today. Dramatically. Now, is he a captain? I still don't think he's a captain. I still don't think he's going to be the person that will rise us from the ashes and push us into a very good spot in the league. I don't think he's that type of player. But I do think when the going gets tough, I really think Harry Maguire's the type of person where if you just keep pushing him hard enough, he's going to respond. So he responded today. He responded. And it's the performance you wanted to see from Harry Maguire. Ollie took a huge risk to play Harry Maguire today. He even said in the press conference that he had a knock. And there was a big chance that he wouldn't play. But he played. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer picked him. And if Harry Maguire was out here making mistakes and conceding goals, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer made his Ollie out fan club a lot higher today. But Harry Maguire stepped up. Harry Maguire performed. Harry Maguire won all the headers, got a goal, beautiful interception play, good passing, long-range passing, short-range passing. Harry Maguire did it all at the centre-back position today. And in my opinion, Harry Maguire is probably my man of the match personally, but there are a few that definitely have need a good shout-out, need a good shout-out. So that's what I wanted to discuss. Well done to Harry Maguire. Luke Shaw, I'm going to give Luke Shaw a 6, but in reality, I believe it's a 7, but Luke Shaw was one of the people at fault for the goal. I mean, unfortunately, he had to, I think if he got to that cross sooner, nothing would have happened, but it just goes with it. It's not really Luke Shaw's necessarily biggest fault. He's not the biggest person for that goal going in, but unfortunately, that tip, all it takes is a few more centimeters and something would have happened. But unfortunately, it did not happen like that. It's just not the way that it went. And I don't think Luke Shaw's he's not really at fault for that goal. I mean, he had to do something. I mean, that's how football is. He had to go and close out the cross. But unfortunately, it was his mistake, and that's why I'm going to give him a 6. But in reality, it's probably a 7 because Luke Shaw really stepped up today as well. Another player that really needed to step up, and Luke Shaw did that with a nutshell, with Alex Tellers lurking on the bench, man. You saw him today. He was sitting there. I really thought we were going to see him. Unfortunately, that's not the case, but you expect to see Alex Tellers sooner than later, and Luke Shaw, in my opinion, is going to make sure that he sets his mark on the Premier League to make sure to Alex Tellers, you're going to have to do a lot if you're going to take my spot. And I think Luke Shaw needs to continue doing those types of performances. Keep running. A very good running display, man. I'm very good. I'm very happy for Luke Shaw for that performance. And we'll move on. The CDMs of Manchester United today. Scott McTominay. I think Scott McTominay in the second half, especially in the last half an hour to 20 minutes of the game, was fantastic. But overall, Scott McTominay just did not have that great of a game. And I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10 because I didn't notice him. I didn't see him at all. He didn't win many tackles. He didn't win that many headers. He didn't really get the ball that much in the first half. In the second half, you saw Scott McTominay play a little bit better. But overall, I thought it was the wrong decision to take Fred off and leave McTominay on. But again, we won 4-1. So wrong or right, who cares? We won that game. And Scott McTominay definitely towards the end made sure that we won that game. And that's all I have to say. I'm not going to give him a 4 out of 10 or even a 3 out of 10 because the fact is no one should be getting that if we win 4-1 unless they had a right stinker. And I don't think Scott McTominay had. I just thought he was very, very irrelevant during the game. And in the second half, we saw why Scott McTominay was obviously not subbed. So there we go. And Fred, in my opinion, gets a 6 out of 10. He was pretty good today. He had a few passes, definitely a few turnovers today as well. And he looked a bit off the rails when it comes to his passing, which is something you don't really see from Fred. Fred usually makes the easy, simple passes, but also makes the right passes. And you didn't see that many times from Fred today. Other than that, he was very tenacious, ran a lot, did what he was supposed to do. Even when he was on the floor, he still managed to win the ball a lot. So, yeah, in my opinion, he had a little bit of a better game than Scott McTominay, but I don't think it was all that much different, to be honest. But at the end of the day, I think both of them, with the tenacity, and they have a little bit of something about them when it comes to skill, I thought they did very, very well today. Again, this is not the team. I wouldn't want to see those two play together against Chelsea. But in a game like Newcastle, in a game where we needed to fight, Scott McTominay's a fighter. Fred's a fighter. And I think that Ollie was clearly going for something today, and I think it worked out. In most cases, it won't work out, but today it did. And you have to give the respect to both of those players for fighting for the shirt. Going into the cam position, Bruno Fernandez. I thought Bruno Fernandez had a very good game today, and I know he didn't do much besides obviously his penalty got saved. And to be honest, if you want to talk about that penalty, that should have never been a penalty. I know there's contact. There's not enough contact to overrule it. If VAR has the rule to say that it's a clear and obvious error that the referee made, I don't see that as a clear and obvious error. So I don't think that we should have got a penalty for that. And I think justice was probably served with Bruno finally getting a penalty saved. But as a Manchester United fan, I still would have wanted him to score it. I don't care about fair or not at the moment because we needed to win that game. But the fact is, that goal was world class goal, the second one. That finish from that angle, absolutely world class. And people like to talk about Bruno saying that he's nothing but a penalty merchant. Well, all of them can shut their damn mouths tonight because that goal, name me a bunch of players that can make that goal happen the way that Bruno did. And you wouldn't find that many, man. You would not find that many. This guy's world class, and he's going to continue to prove it to everybody. So, yeah, people can keep their mouth shut tonight. They've got nothing to say about Bruno Fernandez. If I had to give Bruno Fernandez a rating, I think I'd give him a 7. I mean, his penalty got saved. That's really not really a reflection of his grade. And I think he did a lot of things right today. He had a lot of good shots, a lot of terrible shots as well. And I think he got what he deserved. I'm not going to give him the man of the match. I just think Harry Maguire should get man of the match. And that's why Bruno probably gets a 7. There is someone that will get an 8. And I'm going to tell you why later. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm going to say it to the world. And let's see how the world responds. Daniel James, going into the wingers now. Daniel James gets... It's tough with Daniel James because I think this is the most that I've seen Daniel James in a game for a long time. That left wing is clearly his most suitable side. But I do think with all the effort, with all the good running and all the attacking that he did have, there are positives and negatives to Daniel James. He ran at the defense today. There's something you want to see more from Daniel James. Daniel James is often quite quiet, quite reserved, passes back a lot. Daniel James, I wanted to see him run at the defense, and he did that today. I think the negative with Daniel James is that he's questionable with his decision-making, and I think that was very obvious. He cut in a lot and shot, and some of the shots were just not necessary, and I think that is the only negative I could pull out of Daniel James today. So I'm going to give him an average 6, probably a bit generous. I think people would give him a 5. But I really thought that Daniel James did have a very, very good performance considering all the other performances that he had. And if that's the Daniel James, if he's going to keep running at defenders and he's going to make something happen. But the fact is that we need him to keep running at defenders. I don't want to see him slow and stagnant, even though he's a very quick player. I don't want to see him stagnant, hesitant. Just go for it, man. Your decision-making will come with the more experience and the more time that you play. But the fact is you need to be in situations to create something. And most of the time, Daniel James isn't. But today that he was. And the more positions that he will be in, the better that I think he'll be over time. So it's a 6 out of 10 for Daniel James. Wan Bissaka gets a 7 out of 10 as well. Look, Wan Bissaka, in my opinion, in the first half was not that great. But he's very good at ball retention, isn't he? And I think that's something we really needed today. We needed someone to keep hold of the ball, to make something happen. And I think Wan Bissaka was definitely someone that was able to do that, especially towards the second goal. He was the key part of that as well. And I thought he got an assist for Bruno, but it was offside. And obviously, there's a lot you could talk about Wan Bissaka, but I think a 7 is fair because despite the weakness, Wan Bissaka's weaknesses. He's slow. He didn't really track back at all, but Wan Bissaka had such a good game that Wan Bissaka was basically not needed to track back, which is something I would not do against bigger teams, by the way. But overall, the way that he played in terms of the ball retention, the midfield play, I think he was superb today. He's not the quickest. He might not be the one to go and bang a goal from 50 yards, but I do think he did very good at what he was supposed to do, and I think a 7 out of 10 is fair. And Marcus Rashford is the only player I'm going to give an 8 out of 10 to besides Harry Maguire, but Harry Maguire is my man of the match. Look, Marcus Rashford as a number 9 today, especially in the first half, was non-existent. We didn't see Marcus Rashford have that much influence in the game, but he took a lot of shots. A lot of shots got deflected, and in the last 10 minutes, I think he got a goal and 2 assists. So that's a good game. I don't care who you are. If you get a goal and 2 assists, that's a good game. And Marcus Rashford got exactly what he deserved today. So fair play to Marcus Rashford. And look, we needed Marcus Rashford to step up. And again, we needed someone to fight. This badge right here means something. And it meant something to Marcus Rashford. And I think he had a very good game towards the final minutes. And he put Newcastle to the sword ultimately. His play, his assist, his goals is basically what led to the performance and the 4-1 result. And there's nothing but respect there. Marcus Rashford really stepped up in a situation where we needed him because the Gala would have played if he didn't step up. And I just think we probably should have had Marcus Rashford perform very, very well today. And that's the game. Very good win. Next game is PSG, I believe, in the Champions League. And we're going to see a little bit of a different squad, in my opinion, from PSG than we saw today, because I don't think that squad would work with PSG. But the reality is, it's a very important win, and I think that's the most important key takeaway to take out of it. Besides Wan Bissaka playing well and Harry Maguire playing well, the win was absolutely essential. You saw Chelsea drop points today. You saw Liverpool drop points today. You saw Everton drop points today. And you saw Arsenal drop points today. Fantastic games of football, and I think this game, we had an opportunity to catch up because we could potentially lose points going forward with Chelsea and Arsenal and Everton coming up. We could lose a few points there. So it was important to get those points back in this game. And that is the big thing. And that's the most important thing. And the victory will go to the spoils at the moment. And Manchester United fought back. They fought back. They showed something that I really wanted to see. I just wanted to see our team fight. And even if it was 1-1, I was going to come out here. I was already ready to think about the things I was going to say. I said, we should have won tonight. We should have won tonight. It was bad that we didn't, but United were far from terrible today. And I think that is the key takeaway as well. We did not play poorly. This was not a Brighton result. We did not win the game, but play absolutely dreadful. I'm not coming out here and ranting like I did with Brighton, because this performance was good enough for Manchester United. And maybe the players in that team was not, but the performance itself today was good enough. And hopefully the people that were supposed to be starting for Manchester United, the Paul Pogbas of the world, maybe the Alex Tellers when he comes in, maybe the Matic that should be playing as well, maybe they will get a kick up the arse now and give the same effort as Fred and McTominay, because they are better players than Fred and McTominay, but the effort is what we need. And we need Pogba and Nemanja Matic to to step up, I guess I'm trying to say. And hopefully this win will influence them and bring them back to the land of positivity and we can go again. Anyway, moving on to the bench, Donnie Van Der Beek had a very good part of the goal, so I'm going to give him a 6.5 out of 10. Let's see, who else came on? Nemanja Matic came on. I'm going to give Nemanja Matic a 6 out of 10. Didn't really see much. In fact, he turned the ball over a lot, but I'm still going to give him a 6 out of 10. And Paul Pogba came on. And I don't think Paul Pogba was part of the second goal, but Paul Pogba did all right as well, 6 out of 10. That's the bench, that's the team, that's the performance, 4-1. Manchester United stepped up in a situation. We were absolutely embarrassed, and we needed to come and fight back. And I think we did that, and I'm very happy with that. But to say that I'm confident going into Chelsea now and going to Arsenal and going to Everton, going to PSG and going to Leipzig, I'm still not confident. I can't lie to you. I am not confident about those games. But the one thing that I can say is this performance is a glimmer of hope. And all it takes is one win against one of the big teams. And Manchester United should have that momentum back to push on for the rest of the league. So I'm hoping that we go and beat PSG next, because that will be a big momentum changer for when we go and face Chelsea. Or if we do lose to PSG, I hope we beat Chelsea, because that will be a big momentum changer when we go to Arsenal and to Leipzig. It's a carry-on effect. This win should carry over to the next Premier League game that we have. And hopefully the PSG is just the boosting that we can get. Overall, we've got big games now. The game that everybody wanted pretty much not to be played, this one, because we had so many good games, has been played and we've won. And now we've got the big test. And the big tests are coming, and let's see just exactly what team we're going to be in this period. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the Manchester United's next match predictions video. I think it's PSG, but if I'm wrong, you will see the video when it comes out. I will make sure I'm not wrong. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you in another video. Take care and peace.